Your problems of life will only disappear when you change in consciousness. Even if you disagree, it's still true that what you are conscious of is the only real thing, and everything else just reflects what you are aware of. So, if you're looking for a wonderful state, you'll only find it in your thoughts and consciousness. For the kingdom of heaven is within you. You are currently living in the paradise you've created in your thoughts. Right here on earth, your idea of paradise is showing itself. The kingdom of heaven is really at hand. Right now is the time to accept this. Therefore, make a new paradise in your thoughts, get into a new state of consciousness, and a new earth will show up. This manifestation miracle is so evident in the story of the prophet and the widow's oil. Instead of seeing this story as something that took place thousands of years ago, focus on the purpose behind it. The aim is to praise the hidden formula in these verses that helps things come true. This formula is still strong and lively, just like it was thousands of years ago. It can still fill us with our wishes and make them happen in the world. Once, when the prophet arrived in a town. In this town, there was a widow who was in great distress. She approached the prophet, expressing her sorrow. "My husband has passed away, and now his lender is coming to take my 2 sons as slaves." The prophet, full of compassion, asked the widow, "Tell me, what do you have in your house?" The widow replied, "I only have a small jar of olive oil, and there are 3 drops of oil left in it." Hearing this, the prophet, with a thoughtful expression, advised her, "Go to all your neighbors and request empty jars from them. Don't just ask for a few. Then, go inside your home, close the doors behind you and your sons, and start pouring the oil into all the jars. Once a jar is filled, set it aside." Following the prophet's guidance, the widow gathered empty jars from her neighbors, went inside her home, with her sons, shut the doors behind her. She began pouring the remaining oil into the jars. A miraculous event unfolded as she kept pouring, and each jar was filled to the brim. Amazed, the widow instructed her son, "Bring me another jar." However, the son responded, "There are no more jars left." And at that moment, the flow of oil ceased. Overjoyed with the abundance of oil, the widow hurried to inform the prophet about the extraordinary turn of events. The wise prophet, understanding the significance, told her, "Go sell the oil, and use the proceeds to pay off your debts. Whatever remains after settling your debts will be enough for you and your sons to live on comfortably." The story reveals that being a widow is like being in a tough situation where you might feel stuck and unable to achieve your desires. Just like a widow who wishes for a child but can't have one on her own, you, the listener, might want things like a house, money, success, or a life partner but find it challenging to make them happen or come true. Secondly, even in these tough times of her life, when the prophet asked, "What do you have in the house?" she didn't say nothing. Instead, she said 3 drops of oil. No matter how tough things are, always focus on the positive side, like the full part of the glass, and recognize those small achievements in your mind. This is very important. The next step is to shut the doors behind you, taking your attention away from your current problems. So you, the listener, are this widow. You have not a husband to impregnate you or make you fruitful, for a widow is a barren state. Your awareness is now the Lord, or the prophet that has become your husband. Follow the example of the widow, who instead of recognizing an emptiness or nothingness, recognized the something 3 drops of oil. Then the command to her, "Go within and close the door." That is, shut the door of the senses that tell you of the empty measures, the debts, the problems. When you have taken your attention away completely by shutting out the evidence of the sense, begin to feel the joy, symbolized by oil, of having received the things desired. When the agreement is established within you so that all doubts and fears have passed away, then you too will fill all the empty measures of your life and will have an abundance running over. Recognition is the power that conjures in the world. Every state that you have ever recognized, you have embodied. That which you are recognizing as true of yourself today is that which you are experiencing. So be as the widow and recognize joy, no matter how little the beginnings of recognition, and you will be generously rewarded. Because the world is a magnified mirror, magnifying everything that you are conscious of being. It is our wish and our blessing that things that you never thought possible will happen to you. To support us, please subscribe the channel, Rumi Sufi Mystic, and press the like button.